Jason, this is a little more complicated, but if you want to get more, there is the option to push your positions up and or in other words, bid higher. All right. So what kind of metric, how would someone measure if they could rank higher? What would they look for?
Well, when I'm out there looking for how to be a Google Ads professional and just how to have a multi-decade career in this and be the absolute best in the business, my North Star is Chris Schaefer.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
your second North
But
Star.
when I'm inside of Google Ads and I'm trying to figure out, could I bid more? Could I get more volume if I was willing to bid more? My North Star is absolute top percentage column, not absolute top IS impression share.
Oh, yeah.
If you've made that mistake, don't
It's
worry. The best in the game have for many, many months in a row, because I did. I was just looking at it. Usually the numbers are close to absolute top percentage column, but the absolute top percentage
it's
column is better to look at.
for the audio listeners, well, really the YouTubers as well, because we're not showing it, but it's called ABS space TOP space percentage sign. So that's the abbreviation for absolute top percentage. ABS is the abbreviation for absolute.
And it's found when you go to columns, modify columns. It's the one that's in the performance section. Impression, absolute top percentage.
Absolute
ABS
top percentage is not a competitive metric.
And it starts with the word impression, IMPR, period.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's in the performance section. And basically, Chris, if I'm correct here, it tells you the times that your ads do show, what percent of the time for that campaign, that ad group, that keyword, what percent of the time do you show in the absolute top number one position above all the other ads, above all organic, literally the number one thing that's below the search bar. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah. That's absolute top is it does not mean that you're the top of the bottom positions. It means that you're the top of the top. So it's the best you can get. It doesn't mean that there's 4 other positions below you or even 2. It just means that there is one at least, and you have that one top position.
And all things being equal with ad copy, with whatever, if you show up in that number one position, you're going to get a higher click-through rate than the other ads. All things being equal.
Yeah. And that's the question that I think, is really interesting here. And I want to get your take. I'll start if it's okay. Do top positions get better traffic? And my answer to that is, no. I do not think they get better traffic. I think they get more traffic, but a bad campaign.
Just slicing up my gloves here because we're about to duke it out.
All right, yeah. A bad campaign would then bring in, more of the same, right? And raising your positions does not mean that you're going to get better traffic. It just means that you get more. You said it best. You said it very clearly. You said it's going to increase your click-through rate. You didn't say it's going to increase your conversions. You didn't say it's going to increase your conversion rate.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say it does not bring in better traffic.
Okay, I used to be there. That's what I used to think. But just based on seeing differences when I've tried it, I think it can bring in better quality traffic. It can. And better leads. It can. And the reason I say that is for 2 reasons. One is it depends on the industry. Some industries, like if you're advertising for long distance move, someone searching long distance moving quotes, they're going to click on the top ad. They're going to fill out a form and get some free quotes. Mm-hmm. Same person's probably going to click on the second and third ad and get more free quotes. But there's other industries where the best quality traffic will get their needs met when they find someone who can first meet their needs.
Yeah.
And if the person in the top ad can first meet their needs, then they're just going to go with them.
Yep.
And they're not going to filter down to the second. And then I've just seen that happen. Now, it doesn't happen every time, but in some industries it does. And the other reason I want to qualify that, saying sometimes, because the first reason is I've seen it happen sometimes in industry. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Higher position traffic and ads lead to better quality leads. that actually turn into acquired customers at a higher rate. Sometimes it happens in some industries. The other qualifier on there is, especially now in 2022, in this era of Google Ads, like you were saying earlier, Chris, when you change things, when you raise your bids, your performance is going to change.
Yeah.
Because of phrase match, the way it is these days with updated phrase match, because with the loose targeting and stuff, and because with the individualized results to individual search users, when you raise your bids, all of a sudden, you're now going to potentially be eligible to show on searches you were not eligible to show on before because your ad rank is going to raise. And maybe there's some borderline, not so great traffic that now you're going to show up on because the system says, oh, your ad rank is now high enough to show on this stuff that you weren't going to show on before. Maybe on that stuff, you only show in position 2 or 3 because your ad rank is still low because you're not super spot on to the search. Maybe sometimes that's amazing because it's keywords you hadn't found before, and they're relevant and they produce conversions that turn into customers. Maybe it's not traffic you want. And it's something you have to monitor with your search terms, but we can only see sometimes on average 60% of our search terms. So it takes some nuance and it takes thoughts, but still, I have seen it work. So if you have percentage in your absolute top percentage column and you could bid more and show up number 1 more often, especially on an individual keyword, Chris, on that level, I'm going to say it is a way to get more leads. Something to try.
Okay.